It's happening. It's finally happening. Our government is now going after the traffickers. We've trusted the plan, and now it's happening. RFK Jr. just said, sitting just down the table from Donald Trump with Secretary of State Marco Rubio, that HHS during the Biden administration was a collaborator in child trafficking. Do you remember those 350,000 kids? Yeah, he just referenced it. Not only that, but Kash Patel just said that 2 people were arrested operating an international child exploitation enterprise. We're going to get into it. Listen to this video of RFK Jr. outright saying that the HHS was involved in child trafficking.
We have ended HHS as the role as the vector, the principal vector in this country for child trafficking.
A principal vector.
And during the Biden administration, HHS became a collaborator in child trafficking and for sex and for slavery. And we have ended that, and we're very aggressively going out and trying to find these children, the 300,000 children that were lost by the Biden administration. We have ended HHS as the role as the vector, the principal vector in this country for child trafficking. And during the Biden administration, HHS became a collaborator in child trafficking and for sex and for slavery. And we have ended that, and we're very aggressively going out and trying to find these children, the 300,000 children that were lost by the Biden administration. We have ended...
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Guys, we said Pizzagate was real. We were called crazy. We said that child trafficking and human trafficking was a huge thing. We were called crazy conspiracy theorists. It was there all along, and then Epstein gets arrested. We're going to dig into some more facts because I want to expose the biggest players in the game, the most publicly visible players, including a president and a presidential hopeful in Bill and Hillary Clinton. You will not believe the information that I'm about to share with you. If you didn't know it, it is going to shatter your paradigm. Now, look at what Kash Patel just said. Kash Patel, working with the Justice Department and AG Pam Bondi, we're finally getting it, guys. It's happening. 101 days into Trump's presidency. I can now report the FBI and our partners have arrested 2 individuals on charges of operating an international child exploitation enterprise. This is a significant case in our renewed mission to crack down on child exploitation and abuse, heinous crimes that no child or parent should ever be faced with. We now believe, or we believe these 2 individuals are leaders within a violent online network known as 764, which often targets minors, which will now face justice. What happens when you continue to roll these people in? What happens when we go after these principal players in the, say, the 350,000 kids missing? The Biden administration knew that this was happening. Now, what about the Clintons? We've all heard about it. You know, there's the Podestas, and there's the Jimmy Savile, and then there's the Laura Silsby. Well, we're going to look into it because I'm going to blow your mind right now. Epstein's lawyer claimed the alleged pedophile helped devise the Clinton Global Initiative. Now, why is that so important right now? Listen, billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein, who was indicted Monday on child sex trafficking charges, helped President Bill Clinton devise the Clinton Global Initiative. Mr. Epstein was part of the original group that conceived of the Global Initiative for the Clintons, which describes a project bringing together a community of global leaders to devise and implement innovative solutions to some of the world's most pressing challenges. Attorneys Alan Dershowitz. Oh, the guy, you know, the famed attorney. Everybody knows him, and he was on the Epstein list. All right, well, why is that significant? Well, do you remember this woman here, Laura Silsby? Laura Gaylor Silsby. Now goes by Laura Silsby Gaylor, whatever. She was a principal player in the Clinton Foundation. As you know, the Clinton Foundation specifically got $20 million from USAID. We'll get that pulled up in a second, but here's where it gets funny. So she was part of she was a leader of the group, the U.S. Baptist Missionaries, now in Port-au-Prince jail cells, which was where this happened. So do you remember the Haiti earthquake? Huge earthquake that devastated Haiti. And then everybody was hearing about child trafficking a couple of years later as it related to Hillary, or as it related to Haiti. Now, this article, ironically, from 2010, has nothing to do with she was a serial rule breaker, but it has nothing to do with child trafficking. I have one specific thing to point out. Reading further into the article, you will find something very interesting here. Miss Silsby had equally grand ambitions closer to home. According to a local builder, the Idaho plan called for a multi-million-dollar complex for runaway children. I got another person that has runaway children involved, or in their scheme too. On a 40-acre lot in Kuna County, Idaho, according to Eric Evans, owner of Eric Evans Construction in Meridian. Miss Silsby told him it would have an indoor swimming pool, tennis courts, and dormitories for the children, and Mr. Evans was helping build the project. Miss Silsby's mother said she had never heard of any such plan. $40 million plan. Odd. Silsby was a notorious business person there in the area, and she had continually, again, broken the rules and didn't pay her employees to the tune of, I believe, $380,000. Now, here's where it gets interesting. So the Clinton Foundation, remember, recipient of $20 million for doing work, specifically to do work in Haiti post-earthquake, humanitarian mission, philanthropic. On January 29, 2010, Silsby was arrested with 9 other American nationals attempting to steal 33 children from the country, most of whom were not even orphans and had families, according to reports. This was not the first time Silsby had attempted to traffic children out of Haiti. Haitian police, acting on a tip, had intercepted Silsby in an earlier separate attempt to remove 40 children out of the country. She was turned back to the Haitian border. For a brief period, Haitian authorities were considering adding a new kidnapping charge based on the evidence. Hillary and Bill Clinton, remember, she worked for the Clinton Foundation. She worked with another nonprofit specifically designed for children. It gets even crazier, too. Get this. So Hillary and Bill Clinton took an extraordinary interest in Silsby's case from the moment she was arrested and almost immediately stepped in on her behalf. Now, here's where it gets so much crazier. Since her release from detention in Haiti, Laura Silsby has returned to Idaho. In 2015, she married and took the last name Gaylor. Silsby is currently employed by software company AlertSense. You won't believe this. As their vice president of marketing, AlertSense works with the federal government on FEMA. Remember natural disaster in Haiti? FEMA's integrated public alert warning system. One of IPAW's function is to issue Amber Alerts, guys. Amber Alerts during kidnapping events. So she builds a huge compound in Idaho. She goes to Haiti under the auspices of humanitarian, helping people, helping kids, and then she gets arrested for trying to kidnap children that some were not even orphans due to the catastrophe. Then she goes to jail. She comes back to Idaho and then works for AlertSense, software company that works with the federal government and FEMA. Natural disasters, remember, you don't want your kids anywhere near this monster, which works for and with Amber Alert to send out alerts for kidnapped children. So your kid goes missing and she's the one notifying you, her company, the vice president of the company, that your kid's gone. Well, she might know right where they are, huh? Well, here the story continues to get deeper, and I'm giving you this information so that we can call for action on behalf of these innocent children, the 350,000, but the millions who have been abducted, trafficked, and killed. Hopefully they escaped, but killed, and oftentimes killed by these monsters, these depraved individuals. And remember, Epstein's lawyer said that the Clinton Global Initiative, of course, the Global Initiative, and these are all kind of shell companies for millions, billions of dollars to funnel through. It's corrupt as hell. Epstein helped the Clintons set up their Global Initiative. You can't make this stuff up. So where do we go from here? Brazilian spiritual healer. Now, who am I going to talk about now? John of God. This man here, this individual, John of God. Who is that next to him? Oprah. Best friends. He was an inspiration to Oprah. In fact, have you all heard, this is 2013, have you all heard of John of God? My visit with him next week. Really fascinating. Hashtag next chapter. Well, what would that next chapter be? Visiting his compound where he's got hundreds of women chained and they're used as literal baby carriers, no freedom, no rights, and continually taken advantage of and abused all the time. And then we produce these babies for what purpose? I'll let your imagination do the work. Brazilian spiritual healer John of God indicted for rape, accused. I'm gonna have to blank that out for YouTube. Accused of sexually abusing nearly 600 women. Yeah. Celebrity Brazilian healer John of God has been indicted for rape and deception is accused of sexually abusing hundreds of women, according to the federal prosecutor's office in the state of Goiás. The investigation of sexual abuse allegations against John of God, whose real name is Teixeira de Faria, began after police were approached by his latest alleged victim, the prosecutor's office. Now, this guy ran a baby farm. Now, I've got something for you to look at here. This is Patriot Voice, TPV John. Oprah Winfrey and her BFF. The man in this photo is John of God. Promoted him as a miracle healer. Man kept women chained to impregnate so he could sell the babies for organ. You could say that Adrena, harvesting, for sex trafficking, for satanic sacrifice, and who knows what else. He was arrested in 2018. Never heard of it. Nobody wanted you to know about it. I want you to know about it because these people are sick. Then you have John Podesta. You've got Anthony Weiner. All these power players. And if we were to dive into the history of how this sexual blackmail stuff got started 100 years ago, it would take 6 hours. But I want you to know that we're coming for you, baby. And RFK Jr. dropping this unbelievable truth bomb. The HHS, I want this to sink into your head. The HHS was, you thought it, you know it, facilitating and extremely ingrained in the practice of child trafficking. Thank you for watching These Monsters. This is it. It's happening. I'm stoked. I cannot wait for accountability. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.